You may be going through a time of deep sorrow, and you feel as though God has abandoned you because of some difficult, hurtful situation that you find yourself in. Let me tell you something. God has not abandoned you. The loyalty of God's love will never cease, and his mercy will never come to an end. In verse 23, Jeremiah gives us the reason why God's mercy and love will never come to an end. Look what it says. They are new every morning, every waking day that God has given you. Even in the midst of your sorrow, you can experience God's unceasing mercy and love. And that is a blessing to know. Now, when life brings you sorrow, turn your attention towards the greatness of God's faithfulness. Look at the last clause in verse 23. Jeremiah says, "Great is your faithfulness." After all that Jeremiah has witnessed, the destruction of Jerusalem, the devastation of God's people, sorrow and despair all around him, he turns his attention towards God and he breaks out in an exuberant praise and says, "Great is your faithfulness." God's great faithfulness speaks of what? His reliability. And I don't care if sorrow and despair are all around you. Just turn your attention towards God and say to him, "Great is your faithfulness." Let your mind focus on God's great faithfulness, that God has you in this situation for a purpose. He will never leave you, nor will he ever forsake you. God is faithful. That's no question. But the question is, can you be faithful? Because God is faithful. And notice that Jeremiah doesn't just say that God is faithful. He speaks of the greatness of God's faithfulness. How great is God's faithfulness? Well, David said it this way in Psalm 36, verse 5. He says, "Your mercy, O Lord, is in the heavens. Your faithfulness reaches to the clouds." Peter says this in 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. He says, "The Lord knows how to rescue the godly from trials." You know, we can rely on the greatness of God's faithfulness. Our hope cannot depend on